Hey Clashers, and welcome back to another video. And today there is going to be another base video. And if you're just here to get the base link, no problem whatsoever. Just go in the video description and take the base link. But if you want to learn something more about base building and how I adjust my bases, feel free to stay around and watch the entire video. As always, I'm starting off with sharing some ideas on how I approach my bases. And then right after that, I'm going to share a couple of replays on how other people did on this base. But I think we should get started with the first thing, which right now I feel like is one of the most key things in the base building meta, and this is identifying the expo settings. Expos are right now one of the key things because they are the main single target output of damage onto dragons, dragon riders, air in general, maybe queen charges, things like that. So having to decide if you go with ground, having to decide to go with air, things like that are super key at the moment. And typically, always, whenever I take a look at that, I always feel like I go in and take a look at where those air attacks are coming from, because they are still the most used, the most used strategy in the game right now. And depending on where they're coming in from, you are having to choose the expo setting. So for example, those expos in the beginning were set to air because I felt like, okay, in the core, biggest range can cover the most things. This expo has to be on ground. The outside expos can cover less. They have to be on air. But taking a look at that, it does not make sense against air because the expos on the outside have been taken down really quickly from airstrikes, from the left, for example. This means if you set those expos in the core onto air, and there is like the high HP buildings in between with like the clan castle, inferno tower, and even heroes in between, they're staying alive for way longer. So making sure those core expos are on air and the outside ones are on ground, it's way better because the first ones do not deal any damage to air anyways because the warden ability, and then the back end expo is going to cover more because of the defending after attacking heroes to finish off the base. So this setup, you can see this already, it's making more sense against air, for example. With air being so popular at the moment, you try to defend this first, not queen charges. So this is the first thing I learned with like watching replays, and this is something which I will highlight this multiple times over this video, which I want to teach you how to tweak your base. The next thing which I learned is where do people blizzard. Blizzard is a really common thing right now with Lalo or with, for example, dragons, and those are the most common blizzard spots. At the beginning, this base got wrecked by those blizzard entries. But again, it's all about you tweaking your base accordingly. There is no base out there which was like built and then is perfect right away. So you have to tweak those entries, for example, with giant bombs. The next thing is then take a look at where are people charging in? What are like the common charge spots? A really common charge entry is charging for this multi-inferno tower. But this one Tesla on the outside, this one Tesla is messing up the pathing really bad. With this, the queen is walking around the outside and she can't reach that multi-inferno tower. And it's not easy to find on this Tesla because no one is expecting that over there. So things like this are really key to base building. Watching and learning. In the first couple of days with activating a new base, it is really common to just get smashed in Legends. But it's all about you prepping and tweaking your base accordingly to make sure that attackers the next day, they think like, oh, this base, I saw this base a couple of days ago, let's just smash it. And they're like, wait a second, why is this defended now? Things like this are key in Legends and overall in Clash of Clans. And with small things, you can tweak that really easily. The next thing, let's take a look at the clan castle. The clan castle is right now a really important decision to make. What are you filling in there? But now let's take a look at air again. We have two options. From the left side again, and heroes can be sent into the eagle, which is a really common thing, or around the bottom side. But a lot of people are sending it into the eagle because they feel like, let's just get that eagle and then send in the dragons from one of the flanks to dodge that sweeper, those sweepers actually, as good as possible. But with this setup, you can think about the clan castle. What are you filling in there? What are the most important things? Pretty easy way, to be honest. And by the way, I think, yeah, those skeleton traps are supposed to be over there. But what I want to say with this means on this base, most of the time, things are getting lured. Like the clan castle is getting lured. The other option, heroes are getting sent in there, which then around those ground skeletons can cover those. So what do I recommend with this base in the clan castle? There are two things. First off, 2 super minions, 2 rocket loons, and 5 archers. And the other thing, which I highly recommend as well, because it's defending against smash and things like that a little bit better, is just a hound with 2 headhunters and archers. Those things are working really good. Well, overall, it's a good setup. The next thing, obviously, the NATO trap. The NATO right there is getting used. Like, if it's from the top side, it's less likely. Blimps are less likely coming from the top side due to the Reaper setup. So, they're more likely coming in from the bottom side. As long as someone is coming from the right side, they're directly going into the into the tornado with Queen and Royal Champ next to it. Those loons will never ever reach the Town Hall. So this is another clutch thing. And another thing which I want to highlight really quickly are charges in from the bottom. Those charges are getting wrecked by those red bombs. This is really, really cool as well. Now let's take a look at the first attack. It's actually Lance Loader from the Tang who is going in. And by the way, this blimp, as I said, this blimp in the beginning, so many people played it, and you can see with the expo settings, this replay is already like 2 days old, and you can see how many things I tweak every single day on my bases just to try to improve them. And this is something, as I said earlier in the video, I recommend to every single one of you. When copying this base, when copying any base on YouTube, it's most likely that they're getting smashed really early on. Not only because, well, they might be not so good bases, but I think most of those YouTube bases are not too bad. But the bad thing is, well, they are on YouTube. So a lot of people know their approaches on how to attack this. So try to defend those entries. Try to tweak those entries because they might be the most common things then to attack this base. This one, either way, he's trying to charge in, trying to get that queen in there. The rage was really late. Like, he had really big balls with like those rages. But either way, as I said, the Tesla is luring over this queen and making sure this queen is going not for that multi-inferno tunnel. You can see those healers, they don't have a great time. Like, they don't have a great time at all. And this queen now is having to face the defending king. And you can see already, there's way too much damage. This means this queen is going down. At this point, he already started with this Lalo. He felt like maybe it's better from going in from the right side, from the top side. I don't know, whatever. But this means this base is going to defend. Yes, even if he would have went in from the bottom side, yes, it would have been a second star. Because this Royal Champion is not going to be able to take down this queen. That's just how things work. But even if he's going from the bottom side, it's a really low percentage. And this is what things are all about. And like I said, even if this base is not doing great for you, which might be the case, I'm sorry for that. I'm truly sorry. For me, it defended pretty good after my tweaks. I'm really truly sorry, but the main idea of this video is about reminding people of how important it is to tweak bases and make those changes and try to be better with those tweaks. And that's another thing where you can enjoy Clash of Clans, where you can like get into the brain of the attacker and try to somehow make your defense even more powerful. This one worked out really great for me. I think we should just get to the next attack. And this one is going to be an air attack. This time, though, he's doing exactly what I said. So many people are going with the heroes from the top side. I sadly, at this point, did not recognize this. So I had 3 super minions in there, which is not the best clan castle, trust me. I was just like trolling and felt I somehow wanted to get people, when doing queen charges, I wanted them to lose the queen against 3 super minions. It's a common thing. I do it myself as well. So I just wanted to trigger people, to be honest, which did not work either. But yeah, like I said, I recommend on this base even like a lava hound with headhunters and archers, or if you really want to mess up those queen charges, then 2 super minions and 3 rocket loons and 5 archers. This is just way better. Either way, he's coming from that bottom side, trying to make sure getting that push in there. The blimp is coming from that bottom left side. If it's coming from the bottom right side, this blimp would have been completely useless. This blimp angle works to make sure that the NATO is not getting triggered. But take a look at this double scatter shot setup. It's really melting through those loons, and those loons have no chance whatsoever. He's lightning some topside air defense on the back end. Apparently, that's what he's going for. But you can still see I did some changes after that, and this is what I wanted to tell you with this video. Obviously sharing the base as well. I really hope it's doing great for you, but as well learning how to adapt on those bases and everything, putting those expos in the core to air, try new things, and try to defend this current meta, which right now is not that easy to do, but another really low percentage defense on this one. So Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something about base building in this video, not just copying the base randomly. Because as I said, whenever someone puts a YouTube base out there, obviously they're not defending as good anymore because everyone copies it and then everyone knows the entries. So I really hope I was able to push you to the next level, give you some motivation to try new things. And then thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Until then, see ya and bye bye.